Dark Case Files, Real Crime, Real Stories. January 9, 1986, Los Angeles, California. Sherri Rasmussen, a 29-year-old registered nurse, was finishing a late shift at Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital. She was dedicated, loved her job, and often went the extra mile for her patients. That night, she returned to her apartment in the Mid-Wilshire district, ready to rest, unwind, and prepare for the weekend. She was bright, lively, and full of plans for the future. Her neighbors remember that night as ordinary. Lights flicked on, a television could be heard, the distant hum of the city. No one could have predicted what would happen inside that apartment. Sherri never made it through her front door. Hours later, police discovered her lifeless body. She had been shot in the head. Nothing was stolen, and there were no signs of forced entry. The crime scene was clean, almost too clean. Whoever committed this had planned it meticulously. For decades, investigators were baffled. Every lead seemed to dead end. They interviewed dozens of neighbors, friends, co-workers, and acquaintances. They examined her life for enemies, but there were none. Sherri had no known conflicts. She had no reason to fear anyone. Her family was devastated. They described her as kind, caring, and fiercely independent. Her parents and siblings felt helpless, frustrated by the lack of answers. Over time, the case grew cold. Reports gathered dust, and it seemed that justice might never come. This is Dark Case Files. We post real crime every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next case. Then, over 20 years later, in 2009, the LAPD reopened the case. Advances in forensic science offered a glimmer of hope. DNA testing, analysis of old evidence, and modern investigative techniques allowed them to revisit overlooked leads. Investigators noticed a critical connection. Stephanie Lazarus, a former LAPD officer. Stephanie had been romantically involved with Sherri's ex-husband, and jealousy had long been suspected. Her name had appeared in reports years earlier, but she had never been considered a serious suspect. Now, with DNA evidence, everything changed. Detectives carefully retraced Stephanie's steps. They discovered that she had monitored Sherri's schedule, asked about her routines, and displayed obsessive behavior in the weeks leading up to the murder. Witnesses recalled Stephanie making inquiries about when Sherri would be home, where she worked, and how often she was alone. The obsession was chilling. Police also re-examined the apartment building. Stephanie knew the patterns of the neighbors, the arrival of mail carriers, and the approximate time security patrols passed by. She had planned the murder to minimize risk of detection. It was calculated, cold, and deliberate. After gathering enough evidence, investigators arrested Stephanie Lazarus. The city was stunned. A law enforcement officer, someone sworn to protect the public, had allegedly committed murder. This is Dark Case Files. We post real crime every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next case. During the trial, prosecutors presented a compelling case. DNA linked Lazarus to the crime scene. Witnesses described her obsessive jealousy. Investigators detailed how she had stalked Sherri, monitored her habits, and planned every step. They painted a picture of someone capable of committing a crime that had remained unsolved for decades. The defense argued that the evidence was circumstantial, claiming memories after 20 years were unreliable, and that DNA evidence alone was not proof of guilt. But the jury was convinced. The meticulous planning, combined with the forensic proof, left little doubt. Stephanie Lazarus was convicted of first-degree murder in 2012. She was sentenced to 27 years in prison. Justice, long delayed, had finally been served. The impact of the case was far-reaching. It shocked the LAPD, prompting changes in internal investigations and protocols. Sherri's family, after years of grief and uncertainty, finally received closure. The case also became a cautionary tale about jealousy, obsession, and the dangers that can lurk even in seemingly ordinary lives. Sherri Rasmussen's life, though tragically cut short, left a lasting legacy. Her story continues to remind us of the importance of vigilance, the power of modern investigation, and the enduring hope for justice, no matter how long it takes. This is Dark Case Files. We post real crime every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next case.